Good morning and welcome to All Souls. It's a joy to be with you here in the sanctuary and from wherever you're joining us via live stream. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of members and friends. My name is Gretchen Gabrielson, pronouns she, her, and I am the Spiritual Care and Membership Manager here at All Souls. Joining me in the chancel today is Reverend Dr. Elaine Peresluha, All Souls Interim Senior Minister. Please note a change to the printed order of service. Caitlin Caruso-Dobbs will be our soloist for the anthem this morning. A special welcome to both families with children and youth who are always welcome in our sanctuary, and to those of you who are new or who are visiting this morning. A note that our nursery and preschool care joins us in front of the sanctuary during the service. If you have children that are up to 6 months, up to 5 years, so 6 months, up to 5 years, they are welcome to join us in front of the chancel. If you are new or perhaps come in frequently and are feeling open to it, please raise your hand. Yeah, act of bravery this morning, love it. For members and friends of All Souls, please take a look around. Well, hands went down, but spiritually look around and welcome our new friends to coffee hour after the service. For newcomers, we would love to know more about you. There's a card in the rack in front of you, and you can use the QR code to fill out the paper form and put it in the offertory plate later in the service, or there's a box in the vestibule so that we can reach out and see how we can support you in your journey at All Souls. We welcome newcomers who are interested in learning more about our community to join me for All Souls in 20 minutes, which will take place right here on the chancel after the service. And then afterwards, we have some bagels and refreshments to gather together and share in what it means to be community at All Souls. As always, please join us for coffee hour after the service today. Coffee hour is in the garden in the vestibule this morning and hosted by Heart and Soul. Sanctuary Sounds is this evening at 5 p.m., led by Andy Meisenheimer in the sanctuary. Join us for an immersive, full-body listening experience that intentionally uses sound to nurture both your mind and body. This is a pay-what-you-wish program with a suggested donation of $20. However, you will never be turned away, so please come and join us. There will be a grief support group starting this Wednesday, April 22nd, and will run for 6 consecutive Wednesdays. This grief group is for those struggling with the loss of a friend, a partner, a family member, or of the like. And it is a supportive space to process loss and find community. Grief group will be 6 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. in Reverend Pamela's office. Please, if you have any questions or know someone that could benefit from the group, reach out to me at gretchen@allsoulsnyc.org. An announcement on the Ministerial Search Committee. Keep a lookout for an email that will be sent out either today or tomorrow, inviting members to vote on the Ministerial Search Committee nominees. The vote will be open for about a week before voting on the nominees is closed. Thank you so much. As always, we'd love to stay connected with you during the week. We have events happening online almost every day. If you're not on our mailing list, please let us know at info@allsoulsnyc.org so we can keep you informed on everything that's happening here. So that was a lot of announcements. I invite you all to take a breath in and out. Please silence your electronic devices and quiet your hearts and minds as we prepare for the call to worship.
Before we share in our chalice lighting, I will remind you that the length of announcements is directly proportional to the vibrancy of a community. So you're in good shape. We light our chalice always as a symbol of Unitarian Universalism and our covenant as a member congregation with the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations. All Souls is one of many committed congregations that are part of that community. But the chalice also binds us each week to the history of this space. With each gathering in this sanctuary, we are bound to the history and to the members who for generations have sat in those pews. We have occupied and are occupying historic space. People have come here to share their faith, their strengths, their sorrows, their hope, and to express love. As we do today, we gather always to worship. Now please rise and embody your spirit, and we will say the bond of union, which is printed in your order of service, and then sing the doxology. In the freedom of truth and the spirit of love, we unite for the worship of God and the service of all.
You may be seated. Our responsive reading this morning is entitled Commitment by Dorothy Day. I invite those of you on my side of the sanctuary to read the text that is not in bold, and those on Elaine's side of the sanctuary to read the text in bold. My side, we will begin. People say that is the sense of our small effort.
They cannot see that we must lay one brick at a time, take one step at a time.
A pebble cast into a pond causes ripples that spread in all directions. Each one of our thoughts, words, and deeds is like that.
No one has a right to sit down and feel hopeless.
There's too much work to do.
Now we invite you to rise and embody your spirit, and we will sing 1064. It's printed in your order of service, The Blue Boat Home.
You may be seated. Our reading today is entitled The State of the World by Caroline Mize. You have good reason to fear the state of the world. You are not alone. This is a time of chaotic change for every single person on the planet. This is the greatest turning point in the history of civilization. Every part of you should be on alert, and you shouldn't turn off the alert button. The wise and holy thing to do is to learn as much as possible about what is going on and how to become a powerful agent of change. If you are going to participate with great wisdom. Follow what your body is doing, because therein lies a great path of wisdom. See yourself as a powerful agent. Never gather to complain about your weakness. Gather so you can discover your strength. Do not be a passive agent if something is bothering you, like for example, call your legislators. Join a movement, show up. That's how you don't sit there frightened.
And these additional words are from Victor Glover. He shared this from space, speaking to believers and non-believers alike. Whether we come from different faiths, backgrounds, or worldviews, we are still all on the same ship. Pluralism calls us to remember our shared responsibility to one another and choose cooperation over division. We've got to get through this together. grief and loss enter our bodies. While we grieve, the world continues to swirl around us with its own fears, anger, and violence, greed, hatred, uncertainty. And at the same time, our lives seem to move forward eerily in routines and seemingly untouched. How do we balance it all without retreating, without being complacent, without being overwhelmed? Let this be our prayer, that the light around us guides our footsteps, holds us fast to the best that we can be. May the darkness around us nurture us into engagement and not let us sit silent in comfort. May we give ourselves to the work of this world and weave light and shadow into this great and astonishing moment, that we may serve good. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be. I invite you to stay seated. We're going to respond to the prayer today with a chant. And chants are to be sung repeated. And they seem to take on a life of their own. And when it's time for us to stop, we will. It's number 1011, and it's in your order of service. It's very simple.
This community, this living, breathing congregation exists because of care, because of generosity, because of the willingness of each of us to say, All Souls matters. I want to help it thrive. The offering we give today is one expression of that commitment. It supports the music that moves us, the learning that shapes us, the care that holds us, and the justice work that calls us outward into the world. So in giving this morning, may we do so with gratitude for what has been, for what is, and for what is still possible. We welcome your gifts in the offering plate or by the QR code in your order of service or on the screen if you're joining us via live stream.
few years ago, I had the opportunity to visit a traditional Pueblo village in Taos, New Mexico. 2-3 days a week, they would open the village for a couple of hours for non-native people to come in and view. The tribe lives there, much as they have for over 10,000 years. So I got to share in watching them bake their bread on a stone hearth, got to see them make candles out of animal oils and sand. And I was so impressed, not only by the authenticity and the dignity, but the simplicity of that culture, prioritizing harmony with the earth, with each other, multiple generations working together. There was a peace and a centeredness that was totally unaware of any labels such as poverty, reservation, or backward. What struck me the most and left a lasting impression was the little tag that was attached to everything that you could purchase. It said, "We have been here for 10,000 years in this place. We will be in this place when you are gone." I've read all of David Cornton's books. Corporations Rule the World back in, I think it was 95, The Great Turning from Empire to Earth Community, Change the Story, Change the Future. In those books, he defined two contrasting models for civilization and for organizing human affairs: empire, earth community. He defines them like this: empire organizes by domination at all levels, from relations among nations to relations among family members or communities. For over 5,000 years, empire has brought fortune to the few, condemned the majority of humanity to misery and servitude, suppressed the creative potential of the species, and appropriated much of the productive surplus of human societies to maintain institutions of domination and exclusive wealth. Earth community, by contrast, features organizations by partnership, unleashes the human potential for creative cooperation, and gives priority in allocating the productive surplus of society to growing generative potentials for the whole. We now have 8.3 million people vying for space on this blue boat home. Global economic, climate, gender inequalities have reached historic and politically destabilizing extremes. All this information comes from that international report on the state of the world. The wealthiest 10% of the global population owns 75% of global personal wealth. The poorest half of the world's population owns 2% of global wealth. Poorest half, 50%. The top 0.0001%, which is around 60,000 people out of that 8.3 billion, people control approximately, this is stunning, 3 times more wealth than the entire bottom half of humanity combined. That means half of the world's poorest population is overshadowed by 60,000 people. Just let that soak in a little bit. Then there's the severe climate inequality gaps that link that economic power to environmental impact. That wealthiest 10% of the world's population is responsible for 77% of the world's carbon emissions. And that's all associated with private capital ownership and investments in polluting institutions and industries. That poorest 50% of the world's population accounts for 3% of the carbon emissions. 3. And the populations, that 3%, that contribute the least are the ones exposed to the most devastating effects. Because the high emitters have enough resources to mitigate whatever climate change throws at them. It was in Change the Story, Change the Future that Corton wrote, "We human beings live by stories. And the stories that now govern our society set us on a path to certain destruction. We have been living out the same story, more or less, for centuries. And the title is Sacred Money and Markets, where money is not only the measure of our worth, but of our success. It is thought to be the source of our happiness. In this story, the earth is simply a commodity, a source of raw materials to produce wealth." What he says is, although we know that this story promotes bad ethics, bad science, bad economies, it will remain our guiding story until we replace it with another. Only we can replace it with one that affirms the earth with our deepest understanding of the universe and our relationship to it. We must tell the story as living beings born of a living earth, itself born of a living universe. As long as we continue to organize around that first story, we will get the same destructive consequences. So, we desperately need a new story. Our health and our well-being, our very survival as a species, depends on telling the new story. And the irony is, it's not a new story. The Pueblos are still living it. It's an ancient story. It's a story that lives in our memory, lives in our bones. We just have to reawaken it. Find a way to live it. It is a story of liberation. It celebrates the possibilities of a radically changed way of living, sustainably, with equity. The story of Earth community is grounded in 3 principles, and they're inseparable outcomes. They hook to each other. The first is an ecosystem healthy and balanced, which values life above all else and centers around the generative capacity of the earth and the biosphere to meet human needs, as long as we remember the limits of its capacity, which we kind of ignore. Depends on shared prosperity. that supports the sharing of resources to meet the essential needs of all people, securing everyone's right to a means of living. The third is a living democracy that assures that each person of an active voice takes part in the decisions that affect their life and the lives of the community. It requires that just and nonviolent resolutions to conflict are developed through inclusive, transparent processes. Now, if you think about it, we have bits and pieces of all those things already in place. Why don't we focus on them? Basically, to survive, we have to reconnect with nature and each other. We have to learn and live as responsible, contributing members of a living Earth community. Not nations, not states, not cultures, but all members of a living community. I'm going to invite you to open your hymnals. It's hard to find sometimes, but there's a place in there that has our covenant, the one I mentioned in our chalice lighting. It's around the 8th page. And it says, follow along while I read this. We, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations, covenant to affirm and promote, and then there are 7 principles. The last one, which was added in 1960, respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. If you combine this covenant with our bond of union and our doxology, we've basically defined Earth community. We have everything we need. And at this critical moment, in this fertile time, we, Unitarian Universalists, and the members of this congregation have all the resources and the foundational values to build on to make a dramatic influence, exponential change. You are the connectors, mavens, salespeople. You have the power, the resources, the spheres of influence in New York City. I mean, where else in the world could there possibly be the same configurations of power and resources? Who better situated to change the world? Most of you know how. You've accomplished great things. But what I don't sense is the will. The will to build and change that Earth community. A will grounded in the ownership of this moment. We live in this story. We own this problem. We have all totally bought in to that sacred money and market story. Yeah, I see you nodding. We have. How do we define our success? Ownership demands responsibility. Responsibility demands that we change the story. Starting here, notice we've just started our recycling program. And to remember that we're not alone. As a congregation, we have an association of congregations that's been working on this. Life-affirming stories are everywhere. If you look around, it has been decades that people have been trying to change the story. starting with the first black woman on the Supreme Court, with Starbucks, Amazon, and Uber trying to unionize. Black Lives Matter, the infusion politics of Bishop Barber in the Poor People's Campaign, the election of a Democratic Socialist in New York City. And March 1st, there is a converging moment of all of those movements: No Kings, the coalition of the AFL-CIO, 50-50, the ACLU, all organizing for a general strike, asking each one of us not to shop, not to go to work, and to, what's the third thing? No shopping, no working, no school. Right. So I've already talked to the All Souls School. There's some dilemmas in that strike moment because they provide childcare for people who go to work. But I'm working with them to see if they could, quote, stay open, but encourage their parents to stay home. On May 1st, show this empire regime that we have power, that we have agency, that we are committed to saving our democracy and moving this nation into a new story. Vote for candidates who represent an ecosystem of health and balance, shared prosperity, a living democracy. Spend your money, not on May 1st, but on other days in places that affirm that. There are plenty of retail owners who are looking to follow these kinds of principles. There are corporations who are committed to these principles. Invest in them. Social science teaches us that for a paradigm, globally or nationally, to happen, it only takes 20% of the population. 20% of first adopters will draw the other 80% along with them, and we will have a tipping point into that new paradigm. We are all part of that 20%. We can do this. On the wall of my bedroom, I've had, how many of you know about Brian Anders' Story People? Those cute little, they're these beautiful, look it up, they're these beautiful drawings and watercolors of oddly shaped people in different positions. And the one that I have on my bedroom, oh, and they all have these wonderful quotes on them. The one in my office says, "She feels like she's always made her own choices, and yet there are times when she wonders, what was she thinking?" He has that kind of humor. But this one on my wall in my bedroom at home says, "In my dreams, the angel shrugged and said, 'If we fail this time, it is a failure of our imagination.' And then she placed the whole earth gently in my hands." Please rise in body or spirit, and we'll sing our closing hymn. It's number 163, "For the Earth, Forever Turning."
As we extinguish the light of our chalice, we carry the fire of commitment and the love of this community with us always. And now in our going, may love bless us and keep us. May the light of love shine upon us and out from within us and be gracious unto us and give us peace. For this is the day we have been given. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. You may be seated.